Welcome, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Diane Smith. I'm the Manager of Member Communications for the CAAT Plan, and I will be moderating today's discussion. With us today is Derek W. Dobson, CEO of the CAAT Plan, and Asif Haque, Chief Investment Officer. It's now my pleasure to introduce Derek Dobson in a video recorded earlier. In addition to being the CEO of CAAT, one of Canada's most sustainable pension plans, he serves as co-chair of the Canadian Public Pension Leadership Council, sits on the board of the Association of Canadian Pension Management, and is a founding faculty member of the Masters of Trust Management Standards of the International Foundation of Employee Benefits and Pensions. He is also a member of the Pension Committee of the C.D. Howe Institute.
Thank you, Diane, and thank you to our members and employers who've joined us for today's webinar. I'm looking forward to responding to your questions later today. During the next 20 minutes, Asif and I will be highlighting the plan's performance and answering three key questions. How secure is your pension? How are we improving service? And how are we improving access to good, sustainable pensions in Canada? Let's get started. 2020 was a challenging year for many Canadians, including our members and employers who had to make significant adjustments. Despite the challenges created by the pandemic, you can be confident knowing that your CAAT pension plan remains strong and resilient and remains one of the most sustainable pension plans in Canada. In short, your pension is very secure. We entered 2020 with a healthy funding reserve, and I'm proud to say we ended the year even stronger. The plan's funding reserves grew to $3.3 billion, up from $2.9 billion a year earlier. You can see from this graph that our reserves have been steadily growing for the past decade. These reserves provide a robust buffer against investment market volatility and unexpected demographic changes. Our retired members know that we have granted our conditional inflation enhancements each and every year since they were introduced in 2007. The large reserves we have built should provide you with confidence that conditional inflation enhancements have a very high probability of continuing to be granted going forward too. In 2020, similar to our increase in reserves, the plan's funded status also increased to 119%. In other words, the plan now has $1.19 in assets for every pension dollar promised to our members. This level of funded status is even more reassuring when you consider that the plan governors reduced the discount rate to 4.95%. A lower discount rate builds in an additional resilience and will lead the plan to being even more secure in the long run. Lowering the discount rate is consistent with our focus on long-term sustainability. This graph shows the consistent and steady climb of our funded ratio over the last 10 years to the 119% we enjoy today. All the funded ratios here have been normalized or adjusted to reflect today's discount rate. Consistently improving the plan's health since 2010 is a result of prudent management, excellent investment performance, and a commitment on building meaningful reserves. To conclude this first section, I want to reinforce that your pension plan is well funded and is performing very well. Your pension is secure, and future conditional enhancements are very likely to be granted. I would now like to introduce Asif Haque, our recently appointed Chief Investment Officer, and have him provide a summary of our investment performance and philosophy. Although he is only a few days into his new role, Asif is no stranger to CAAT. He joined CAAT more than a decade ago and was most recently Managing Director of Public Markets. His team oversaw about 70% of the total assets invested. I'm delighted to have Asif lead the investment team. He has a strategic vision, skills, and experience we need to support the continued delivery of valuable pensions to our members and employers. Beyond CAAT, Asif serves on the Pension Investment Association of Canada, or PIAC, and on the Investment Committee of the United Church of Canada Pension Plan, as well as the Investment Committee of Nunavut Tagavik, an organization supporting programs for the Inuit. Asif, it's over to you.
Thank you, Derek, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm pleased to be participating in today's webinar. CAAT's team is proud to continue in the direction first charted by my friend and mentor, Julie Kays, who retired at the end of April. I want to mention how extremely proud we all were of Julie's award in 2020 as Chief Investment Officer of the Year by Canadian Investment Review magazine. Julie has been an exemplary leader for CAAT and has made a lasting contribution to the overall success of the plan. And I'm personally indebted to Julie for building the team of dedicated, talented investment professionals with whom I'm fortunate to work every day. I'll begin by recapping the plan's investment performance and then explain the investment strategy. During 2020, plan assets grew to $15.8 billion from $13.5 billion at the start of the year. CAAT's investment returns were 11.1% net of fees. Our performance exceeded that of our policy benchmark by 0.4%. A summary of our performance can be found in our annual report posted to our website, caatpension.ca. While our results in 2020 were strong, we are focused on long-term performance. And for the 10 years ending in 2020, our annualized net rate of return is 9.9%. Most importantly, investment performance has exceeded our discount rate significantly over those past 10 years. But we're also proud to have outperformed our policy benchmark by over 1% per year over that past decade. This led to an additional $1.7 billion in value to the plan, enhancing its security and resilience. Let's turn now to the investment strategy. CAAT's investment program is designed to generate sufficient long-term returns to keep benefits secure over time. The plan's asset mix is well diversified, with exposure to a broad range of assets. The portfolio includes three broad categories of assets: interest rate sensitive assets, comprised of Canadian government and corporate bonds; inflation sensitive assets, including real estate, infrastructure, real return bonds, and commodities; and return-enhancing assets comprised of public and private equities around the world. CAAT conducts a detailed asset liability modeling study at least once every 3 years to determine if any long-term adjustments to the asset mix are appropriate. Conducting these studies regularly enables prudent planning and the evaluation of emerging risks and opportunities. The plan's investment strategy is implemented primarily through relationships with external investment and fund managers. We have roughly 60 such relationships today. In addition, we have a growing portfolio of private market co-investments, which are direct investments in private market assets alongside lead investors. The investment team follows an extensive and disciplined due diligence process when evaluating investment managers to ensure initial and ongoing alignment with the interests of the plan. I'd like to spend a moment discussing the CAAT plan's approach to responsible investing. We take seriously our responsibility to members who depend on the plan for secure lifetime pension benefits. And the principal investment goal of the plan is to maximize long-term, risk-adjusted returns to secure pensions. But in carrying out the plan's investment decisions, staff are guided by the three core principles of the plan's responsible investment policy: supporting sound governance through proxy voting; corporate engagement, which entails the plan working with other institutional investors to encourage regulators and Canadian corporations to strive for more comprehensive disclosure of ESG risks; and encouraging the integration of ESG factors in investment processes, particularly by the external managers with whom the plan invests. Consistent with our responsible investing policy, CAAT is a signatory to the United Nations Principles for Responsible Investing, or PRI. PRI signatories commit to incorporating ESG issues into investment analysis and decision-making. We are also signatories to CDP, the Carbon Disclosure Project. The CDP coordinates a global disclosure system that asks corporations to measure and disclose environmental metrics such as greenhouse gas emissions and water usage, as well as their long-term strategies for managing climate change. The aim is to enable investors to evaluate risks related to these factors. And I encourage you to visit the CAAT website to find out more about our responsible investing policy and also about our investment strategy and performance. In summary, the plan's investment performance was strong in 2020 despite market volatility, and our long-term returns have also been strong relative to our policy benchmark and to our discount rate. And so at this point, I would like to hand the presentation back to Derek, who will speak about other ways we're improving services to members and employers and helping ensure the security of your pension benefits. Derek.
Thank you, Asif. In 2020, we quickly adjusted to working remotely without losing our focus on delivering on our service commitments to employers and members. In fact, we did more than deliver. We also made improvements. Improving service to members and employers includes making things simpler and more accessible. We have implemented the first phase of our member-employer portals to better meet your needs, and we're committed to continuing to add more functionality in the years to come. I am pleased to report that we have already had more than 1/3 of our active members, or over 15,000 members, sign up for the portal. What's even more impressive is that 98% of those members have elected electronic communications instead of paper. This is consistent with our desire to make smart choices and limit our impacts on the environment. If you're an active member contributing today, I encourage you to sign up for the portal. It's a more secure way of accessing your information. We're also actively working on launching a portal for retired members in the next year or so. In 2020, we also revamped our website to make navigation easier and to make the site more accessible regardless of the device you may be using. We believe these changes will make it easier for members and employers to find the information and tools they need. This year, we also introduced a new format for the annual report. We believe the new digital year in review is a more engaging way to learn about the plan's performance. If you want a recap of our 2020 performance, I invite you to view our year in review on the CAAT Pension Plan website. So far, we've reviewed our 2020 performance and the health of our plan today. In our final section, we turn our attention to how the plan will continue to adapt and evolve to be strong now and in the future. Delivering on the promise of benefit security but demands constant attention and forward thinking to ensure the plan remains relevant to our members and our employers. Although workplaces are changing, the need for valuable, secure pension plans is not. In fact, we believe the need for a good pension is even more relevant today. As you may know, after thoughtful consideration and detailed risk analysis, the plan governors decisively moved to make CAAT pensions available outside the Ontario college system. This was done because it would benefit the plan and make your pension even more secure. It is also the right thing to do. Canadians want and need predictable retirement income payable each and every month for their lifetime. They want and need their pension to retain its purchasing power in retirement through regular inflation enhancements. They also want to provide a survivor pension for their spouse. The CAAT plan does all of this and more. The plan features are appealing, but are also coupled with strong governance and stellar performance, which makes CAAT unique and very attractive to so many Canadians. It's also good for Canada by allowing organizations to deliver valuable benefits at a fixed cost and focus on their core business. CAAT allows employees to have less stress and a better standard of living in retirement. Our employers know that a good pension reduces employee stress and allows them to retire when the time is right. Our employers also know that a valuable pension is a powerful way to attract and retain talent, especially given the short supply of good pensions in Canadian workplaces. This advantage is a big differentiator for many. As mentioned, CAAT employers can focus on their core business because we remove all the risks and complexities of running their own pension plan. This was especially important in 2020 and will continue to be important in the future. In 2020, the relevance of the CAAT plan was demonstrated as the plan grew by 7,500 members. As we started 2021, our total membership reached 70,000 members who work at one of the 111 employers in 9 different industries across Canada. Who were some of these organizations who recently joined? They included Brinks Canada, United Way of Greater Toronto, and Sanofi Canada. We also welcome smaller organizations such as the Vancouver Foundation, Lawyers Financial, and St. John Airport. We are proud to deliver great pensions to members in every province in Canada. Making modern, defined benefit pension plans available to more workplaces in Canada is something CAAT's plan governors strongly believe in. We are thankful for your continued support to share a great pension plan with so many others. I want to share a few brief testimonials we've received to share the thanks we see every day. Unions are happy to see their members moving from less secure single employer plans to secure retirement income provided by CAAT. Employers are seeing value of reduced cost, risk, and administration, plus providing their valued employees with a superior plan. From the college sector leaders, we're hearing that it's welcome news to open the plan to more workers across Canada. And finally, from one of our 22,000 retired members, which is the principal reason we exist. Our 2020 performance was very strong, and we are all proud of the results achieved to date. However, as a pension plan, we need to focus well into the future in order to keep the plan as one of the strongest and most secure in Canada. Our investment program will continue to be focused on the long term, consistent and appropriate for our pension plan. We will continue to focus on resilience, using our expertise in risk management and scenario planning, supported by a robust funding policy that uses reserves and conditional benefits to keep the plan sustainable and your pension benefits secure over the long term. We will continue to innovate to improve our services and consider other changes to ensure pensions remain relevant and equitable moving forward. The ability to deliver on our strategy also requires a great culture, passion, and expertise. Over the last 12 years, I've observed countless examples of the passion and commitment of the CAAT plan governors and our staff to our members and our employers. Our highly engaged team of dedicated professionals believes strongly in improving the financial security of our members. Delivering on our mission also requires a strong culture, especially given the challenges of 2020. I am pleased to share that CAAT was again named as a recipient of the Canada's Most Admired Cultures and as one of Greater Toronto's top employers. Although we are not perfect, we remain committed to actively nurturing CAAT's diverse and inclusive culture. We will continue to undertake activities that reflect our commitment to respect and value the broadest range of experiences, geographies, genders, ethnicities, and perspectives. We strongly believe in what we call the one-team culture, and we believe this will ultimately benefit the plan and its stakeholders today and in the future. To summarize and reflect on our original 3 questions, number 1, your pension is secure and the plan is performing well. It is stronger today than it was a year ago. Number 2, we remain committed to improving our services to members and employers. And number 3, we are opening the plan to new groups because we believe it's the right thing to do and it makes the plan stronger. When you need us, I recommend visiting our website, caatpension.ca, to explore the many ways you can continue to connect with us. I also recommend that you follow the CAAT Pension Plan on LinkedIn to hear timely news on the plan as 2021 unfolds.